for the 1 Million Cups Daytona Beach chapter. Just so you know real quick, Million Cups comes from the Kaufman Foundation based out of Kansas City. More than 5 years ago, the Kansas City chapter got started, and other cities around the world wanted to host 1 Million Cups. The 1 Million Cups in Daytona Beach this November will be 3 years old, and it is completely led by volunteers. We have 9, let me say it again, 9 volunteers now. We have Chris Stephan, Sean Donovan, Tyler LeCompte, Lou Paris, Joan Clip, Fred Bergeron, Silas Santos, and our newest organizer. And I want you to help me give it up for Shauna Altez. So you are officially a 1 Million Cups organizer now that we got this. So if you want to be part of the organizing team that helps put this on every week, all you have to do is let us know. We're a very inclusive group, and we will accept you because we need help. But at any rate, I want to ask, how many folks are new by a show of hands this morning? Man. Great. Thanks for all being here. And we'll ask you individually, how did you find out about us? Because we definitely want to know what's working and what's not working to get people to be here. We have a great speaker this morning, and I'd like to ask Chris to come up and do the introduction.
All right, thanks everyone. Who likes beer? Yes. Who likes Persimmon Hollow beer? All right, today we have Andy Sistrunk with Persimmon Hollow Brewing. As you can tell, he's got a lot of beer. He's got awesome stuff. The beer is delicious. He's out of the land. He's developed a incredible following by pumping out some delicious beer. I've been working on him since January. I'm so happy he's finally here. He's been busy. So
market research.
So without further ado, let's welcome Andy Sistrunk.
Good morning. Thanks, y'all. You're probably wondering what in the world a guy that comes to a business thing is doing in flip-flops and a kilt. Our motto is drink sensibly but get weird. You see it behind you? We try to live up to this every day. The get weird part is actually the easy part. Drinking sensibly, on the other hand, drinking good liquid all the time is what we are about, and that's what we spend our lives doing. So let me tell you a little bit about Persimmon Hollow and kind of where that comes from. And actually the title of this presentation is a theme I've been working on for a while. When we started this company, one of the reasons I started it was I wanted to be able to wear flip-flops to work every day. I'm a 7th generation Florida native. My feet don't breathe through my lungs. My feet need to breathe through the air. That's kind of how I work. I was barefooted unless my mom made me put on shoes as a kid, and I've lived that way my whole life. So I was working an insurance job, wearing a suit to work every day, working for my older brother, and making beer at home on the weekends. And this beer thing started going a little crazy. Nick Conte's in the room. Nick remembers we were in Leadership West Volusia together, and I had ideas on a napkin and was making beer every weekend in my house. And my best friend and I decided we were just going to jump. We were going to do this thing. We had some people in the beer industry that had our beer at some beer festivals and told us, your beer is really, really good. You guys need to do something with this. You're making beer at a professional level at home, which they were lying to us a little bit. We learned a whole lot about making beer at a professional level after that, but they were very nice and very encouraging, which is a really good way to go into a lot of debt, by the way. But we took their nice encouragement and their debt, and we jumped in. And we opened Persimmon Hollow Brewing in 2014, October of 2014, and we have been kind of going a little crazy since then. Getting that place open was quite the learning experience. Alcohol is the most regulated industry in the state of Florida. I'll say that again. Alcohol is the most regulated industry in the state of Florida. I got a nice little present in the mail 2 weeks ago that I get to have my first state of Florida alcohol audit in a couple of weeks. So that was really fun. It came with a little bow on it and everything. Actually, it didn't come with a bow on it. It just came certified. So when we opened the place, we had a couple of objectives. The main objective that we had was that we wanted to be in downtown DeLand. Now, I'm here with a group mainly from Daytona. If you've been to DeLand lately, you understand this. If you've not been to DeLand lately, get out from under your rock, drive across the county, and come see what we have going on in downtown DeLand. My business partner and I both lived then and still live now within walking distance of downtown DeLand. Our social life is basically walk to downtown DeLand, or get in the car and drive down there, or jump on our bikes and ride down there and go be with the people of downtown DeLand. It's a burgeoning scene, lots of great bars, restaurants. My wife loves antique shopping and all the little shops and everything else. She would spend all of our money. We didn't have rules about that in downtown DeLand, and so we really wanted to be there. And we found an amazing place. You can see it behind you on our website there. I'll get out of the way so everybody can see it. This building is 100 years old, almost 100 years old, built in 1923. Has great wood rafters. It feels like an old world brewery. It was an empty parking garage. Matter of fact, if you come in our tap room and you look down on the floor, you can still see the parking lines. All we did was put a clear sealer over it. We pressure washed them and clear sealed them. We wanted to keep that feel. But that is our tap room and brewery. We have 4,900 square feet. Half the building is tap room, and the other half is the brewery. Now, in that, we have a whole bunch of tanks. If you've been to some of the other breweries, maybe New Smyrna Brewing or Daytona Brewing, you see some of their tanks, and they're about chest high or whatever. Our tanks, our bigger tanks that sit right behind the bar, it is about 16 feet to the top of those tanks. They hold 900 gallons of beer at a time. We make beer in 450-gallon batches. We do single and double batches. In our tap room right now, when we started, we had 12 taps. We would have a couple of guest taps and maybe 8 of our beers. Now we have 17 taps. We keep 1 guest tap. We have 16 of our own beers on tap all the time. And we distribute beer in 6 counties. In those 6 counties, we distribute 2 main beers that you will see a lot. I've got cans of them up here. The Daytona Dirty Blonde, which is actually named for my wife. She's a 5th-generation Daytona native. Named that beer for her. Sandy Blonde here. And then Beach Hippie IPA. Beach Hippie is our #1 seller. Sells all over the place. You get it anywhere within 20 miles of the water. Everybody wants to drink it. And I don't blame them, because I do too. So those are our 2 main beers, but we'll have other beers out in distribution. And then in our tap room, there are a whole lot of beers that you can only get there, which is one of the draws that we have, that people want to come there and get the beer. The other main thing that we do, and is a part of the trajectory of our company, and will always be a part of the trajectory of our company, is to do good in our community with the success that we have. I'll talk to you in a minute about our investment in people and where people are in our priority as a business. But we are involved, my business partner and I, we're both involved with Rotary International in 2 different clubs before we ever opened the brewery. And have continued that. We are involved in all kinds of charitable things. Matter of fact, our weekly meeting on Monday morning, one of the checklists we go through is what charitable things have we asked to be a part of. Which ones can we say yes to? Which ones can't we say yes to? Obviously, we have to choose. But we are doing everything we can to make an impact in our community and in our county, and to change the face of DeLand, to bring manufacturing jobs, entertainment jobs. We have created 16 jobs in DeLand. Which is huge for the downtown community. We got people riding bikes to work. So, and we will continue to do that. We did not start this business to be one that gets really big in 2 years and sells for $18 million to Anheuser-Busch. That's not what we're going to do. We're a brewery that will make long-term success a priority. At some point, somebody comes along, writes a big enough check, they better have some stipulations with it, and part of that includes that we continue to do good in our community, and that we continue to be a part of what we do. So let me tell you about where we are as a company and kind of what we do. We got through our first 2 years. If you started a business, you understand why I took a big deep breath after I said that. Because the first 2 years are figuring out if somebody's going to be there to keep the lights on every day, and if when you flip that switch, the lights are actually going to come on, and whether or not you can actually sell enough product to pay everybody that works for you, and then maybe take a paycheck home at the end of it. We went through all of that. Now we are at a point as a company where we have been able to transition into looking at our trajectory over the next 3 to 5 years. Where are we going? I'll use that word trajectory a lot. Every time I write goals, I have to scratch through them 3 weeks later and rewrite them, so I don't use the word goal anymore. I use the word trajectory a lot. So our trajectory is what we're working on. The first thing I did is I wanted to lay out values for our company. And you've already heard we have some values that are part of what we do. So I started working on this. I've been working on it since the first of the year, and I've kind of come to this conclusion. And so we call these our 4 key ingredients. We make something for a living. We make beer for a living. So these are our 4 key ingredients as a company. Our first key ingredient is people. No matter what business you are in the people business. Doesn't matter if you build race cars, you're in the people business. If you make beer for a living, you're in the people business. If you make tasty rum, you're in the people business. We are in the people business. But it's not just about the people that we engage with drinking our product. It's also about taking care of our community, taking care of our team, making sure that we have a fun place to work, making sure that we have a great community of people that feel like they're behind us. And what we've seen is that that key ingredient is actually something that we didn't really set out to develop. It developed itself around who we are and what we wanted our business to be. So that is our number one priority every day is people. We do everything we can for that. The second is quality. The craft beer world is going a little crazy right now. Not everything that you get out of a tap or out of a can is going to taste good. There are quality issues out there. Everybody that starts a company that makes any kind of product like that is going to go through some. We went through some. We went through enough challenges that we made quality our number one priority. 3 weeks ago, I dumped 900 gallons of beer down the drain for the first time in a year and a half. The first time I've had to dump a batch since our first 6 months. We did it a couple times the first 6 months. It hurt. It hurt in places that I don't want to talk about. That's how much it hurt. But we will not put anything in the market that is not top quality. We just made it a priority of our company. It is a key ingredient, and it's something that we believe that will separate us from other companies, is that our quality will always be where we want it to be. And it's not just the quality of the product, but it's the quality of our people, it's the quality of our place, it's the quality of everything that we do needs to match the quality of the brand and the product. So then our third key ingredient is our brand. If you look up here, everything's branded, right? I have friends that joke around. They think that I don't own anything that doesn't have the Persimmon Hollow logo on it, and they might be right. My kilt does not have a logo on it yet, but it can be arranged. But our branding, my business partner is actually the guru behind our branding. Robbie is not here. He's in Bolivia on his honeymoon, or he would have been here with me. But branding is his thing. It's his baby. Everything goes through our brand filter. And so we have a team that literally, before we put anything in the public, it goes through our brand filter. And there are a couple of people that sit, look at that. Our social media, everything goes through that filter. And we say, everybody says yes, okay, it goes. And I'm not one of those yeses, by the way. The only time I'm a yes is if they need a check. If they need a check, I'm a yes that they have to get. Besides that, they manage this. The guy that does all of our design, has designed all of our packaging and everything else, incredibly talented guy. Clark Orr, he's world-renowned graphic designer, and he is a Deland native. He's got a tattoo of the Volusia County court, the old courthouse, right on his forearm. He now lives in Winter Park. I tell him all the time he's got the snooty because he moved over there. But no, he's one of our closest friends. He actually helped us name the brewery. We'll do a little giveaway in a little while. I'll ask a question about the name of the brewery. But branding is our third key ingredient. And then our fourth one is fun. And this one is new to us. We've always had fun. We just haven't had it in the list of our key things that we were doing. But there's a whole lot of stuff out there in the craft beer world where people have forgotten that beer is supposed to be fun. If there's one thing that Anheuser-Busch and Miller do really well, it's fun. Now, I don't always agree with the way their branding goes, but they understand that beer is supposed to be fun. So as a local brand, we do fun stuff. I don't know if anybody has seen our Facebook page in the last couple of weeks, our Cinco de Swoop and Chug event. We do events with Skydive Deland, and those people love to have some fun. Skydivers are fun people. We got, there was too much wind to skydive, so instead we made up a crazy obstacle course, and they went nuts on it. And if you've never chugged a beer after doing dizzy back, you should try it sometime. It's fun. But those are the kind of things that we do as a company. It's about being fun. When Anheuser-Busch put out the ad kind of making fun of craft breweries a couple of years ago during the Super Bowl and social media went crazy, they kind of looked at the craft beer drinker as the guy with his pinky up and his fancy hipster mustache and all that stuff. And you know what? It stung. It stung a lot of us in the craft beer world. It stung me because it was true. And so every time I'm in a gathering of craft brewers, I use the phrase, hey, remember when beer was fun? Can we keep it there, please? Let's have fun. Let's wear kilts because they're stupid and they make people laugh. Do things like that. So those are our four key ingredients. Now, to tell you a little bit about our growth curve and where we are as a company, we hit all of our goals in our first year, which was basically pay everybody and take a paycheck home ourselves and keep the lights on, which we did. We actually had an incredibly successful first year. In our second year, we experienced 60% growth year over year in income. Our third year, we are on pace now to be somewhere between 40 and 45% year over year growth. Thank you. And our trajectory for the next 3 to 5 years is a sizable infusion of capital, and we're going to talk about that in a second, kind of the different options that we're looking at for that, and I'm going to ask for your feedback on that as well. But with that infusion of capital, we expect 60 to 100% growth year over year, 3 to 5 years out. To grow as a company. We are already making plans for how to move some stuff out of our building to make room for more capacity in the building, and also looking at options for if we had to look at a second facility, what do we do? We've already added a warehouse building down the street from us. We were able to add it on the same street in downtown DeLand, which is incredible, and it is full of dry goods right now. It is just warehouse, but we may be looking at options of could we put tanks down there? How do we move beer 200 yards down the street? There are options to do that. There are breweries that have figured out how to do that to expand in our footprint. Our number one priority is to maintain our footprint in downtown DeLand. Even if we build an industrial facility one day out of an industrial park, the community location in downtown DeLand that is the community gathering place will always be there. That is our number one priority for our growth. So that's kind of our growth curve and where we are currently. I feel very blessed to be a part of this thing and to have seen it grow like it has. It's a whole lot bigger than me. Trying to give my team as many high fives as I can. We've got an incredible team. They're there making beer right now and selling beer. We've got personnel on the road in Orlando now selling beer. It's a really, really great thing. So, challenges and problems, to throw these out there. The first one is that the craft beer industry is kind of the Wild West right now. It's incredible, the number. Every time you go in the store, you see a different brand, right? So one of the big challenges is knowing which of those brands is actually a craft brand, which of those is something that AB or Miller actually owns and has their label on. How do you know what's local? How do you know what's not? It is the Wild West. And it's also the Wild West and the amount of money that's being thrown into our industry, specifically in our state right now. When we opened the brewery, Florida was 40th in breweries per capita in the nation. 40th. Breweries per capita in the nation. That's going, and there are plenty of money in this state. And there are plenty of people from out of this state that want to throw money into this state. So there's a whole lot of Wild West money being thrown around out there. And there are people that are trying to grow these breweries up 2 or 3 years, make as much money as they can, sell off to somebody bigger and get out. That is not our trajectory. We are the brewery that's going to be here 10 or 15 years from now selling beer, 20 years from now selling beer. We are the tortoise. We are not the hare. If I go to an account and they don't want to put my beer on right now because somebody else is hotter or they're throwing more money at it, I say, that's fine, you'll be selling my beer in 15 years. So if you don't want to buy it now, I'll come see you again next week. And then we keep seeing them over and over and over again. We're growing slowly, but we're growing properly. But that's a huge challenge that we face, is kind of blocking out the noise in the system. There's a lot of noise in the system in the craft beer world. We got to block that out and just be us. That's all we can be. Second thing is kind of re-education and paradigm shift for the wholesalers. Alcohol industry is the only industry in the state of Florida that I know of where we have to sell our beer to a wholesaler for them to then sell it to the retailer, for the retailer to then sell it to you. And by the way, it gets taxed every step along the way as well. It's a funny little thing. The state loves us. That's why they come and audit us, so that they make sure they get their money. But we have to sell through a wholesaler. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Our local wholesaler here that does Volusia County for us, SR Parad, is incredible. They are a paradigm shifter amongst wholesalers. They have 3 craft brands, local craft brands, made in Volusia County in their top 10 craft beers. You won't find another beer distributor that has a Bud or a Miller major brand like that I don't know of one that has 3 local brands in their top 10 craft brands. I give SR Parad all the credit in the world. We were not with them originally, and we had a very bad experience, and SR Parad came and rescued us. And I say it like that, and I will tell them that. And I tell them that every time I can. I give them big high fives. They sell a ton of our beer. They do a great job. They're an incredible partner. Now, our challenge is, in the Orlando market, we are with some other distributors. And one of the things they're having to learn to do, variety for them for all of these years has been, well, is it 18 packs of Bud Light, or is it 12 packs of Bud Light, or is it 6 packs of cans of Bud Light or bottles? That was their variety. Now, they've got 35 craft brands. How do they make 35 people happy? Can you imagine trying to make 35 spouses happy? That's basically what they're dealing with. They have 35 business partners, plus the big guys that actually pay for all the trucks and all that stuff, there's a reason it says Budweiser down the side of the truck. They paid for the truck. And guess what? My beer goes to market on their truck, which is why you won't hear me bad-mouthing them very much. I'm not going to sell to them, but I'm also not going to bad-mouth them because they pay for really nice trucks to take my stuff to market. It's really nice. The warehouse is really nice as well. That's where it comes from. And we know that when they give a priority, that becomes priority number one. But we're having to find a way to teach our wholesalers to reimagine how they do what they do and how they partner with a local brand. And so we're having to do a lot of education of their sales team. My number one role when it comes to working with wholesalers is education. That's what I do, educating them about my brand and getting them to think creatively about how to sell beer. Kind of third challenge is along that re-education line, re-educating retailers. I was in an unnamed sports bar, Florida chain the other day, and I asked, what local beers do you have on craft? Or what local beers do you have on craft? And I was eating with my family. It was Mother's Day, and my wife, God bless her, she wanted beer and wings for Mother's Day. I cooked her a huge nice meal Saturday. On Sunday, she said, let's go for beer and wings. I was like, yeah, that's my girl. So we went out, we had beer and wings. And I asked that question, and the answer was, well, our domestics are Bud Light, Yuengling, and listed off, and nothing was made. Maybe the Bud was made in Jacksonville, maybe. That's the closest thing you got to a local or a craft brand. But that person, I don't blame her. She was working in a restaurant where she's not been educated on what local craft brands are, and the restaurant has not been educated that they will actually sell more beer if they carry local craft brands. Even though the cost to them is higher, they can then sell it at a higher price point, which raises their profit margin. But to get them to understand that when they can buy cheap kegs of any one of those things, and everybody knows the brand, they have to do no education, it's really easy for them. So part of our challenge is to re-educate the retailer on how to sell craft. And that means a lot of education for their staff as well. So this is a tortoise thing. This is a one restaurant after another, spend as much time with their servers as we can. And then kind of the last thing that I want to go over, and these are kind of the flip-flops. So flip-flops in the boardroom is this thing I've been thinking about. I actually will probably write a book one day called Flip-Flops in the Boardroom. Nobody steal it, please. Because some of that is me. I wear flip-flops every day, but also we all have to make decisions as business leaders every day. And these are flip or flop decisions, and I don't know the right answer. So I want to give you a couple of them that we're working on now, and then we can talk about them through the Q&A. The first one is density versus dispersion. So do we focus on growing density of sales in our current distribution market, in the 6 counties where we distribute, and try to maximize and sell every drop of beer we can in that market and not worry about growing outside of that? Or do we say, no, we're going to hire a salesperson for Jacksonville, and we're going to put somebody, we're going to put beer in Jacksonville, and Gainesville, and Tallahassee, and we're going to go to Tampa. Right now, we are in the Orlando metro area and Volusia and Flagler, and that's it. So that's a challenge we're having. Do we try to sell every drop we can in our current footprint? Or do we try to find other wholesalers who will take us on to spread into that market, wanting to grow wisely? We don't want to ever have a place run out of our beer. We've had that happen before, and those are the things that keep me up at night. Out of stock are my 3 least favorite words. I do not want to hear them. And so how do we grow wisely? That's one of our flip-flop decisions we're working on. The second is, do we take on additional debt for growth? Or do we take on cash capital and give up equity in the company? What do? When we first opened, we gave up equity in our company. We've worked for 2.5 years, and we've just got that equity back. So now we own the company 50-50, which is great. But do we look at bringing on additional cash? In which way? Because we need additional capital to grow, and we know we do. Or do we take it slow and steady and try to cash flow it, which is another thing that will keep me up at night. And then the third is kind of flip-flop decision, is do we staff for growth? I've always heard you need to staff for growth. You can't grow without staff. But then you go into a meeting with any smart business financial person or accountant, and they look at you and go, your payroll head. So it's flip-flop. Do we staff for growth? Or do we try not to be burdened with too much payroll so that we can grow wisely? This is a flip-flop decision that we're making, trying to talk about all the time. So things that I would love to hear your feedback on. And then just to kind of wrap it up before we go to the Q&A, thought for you, and a really good thought for my industry. When people are happy, they drink beer. When people are sad, They drink beer. When the economy's good, people drink beer. When the economy's bad, guess what they still spend money on? Beer. So I'm very blessed to be in an industry where I'm selling a product. I went from selling insurance, which no offense to any of you insurance people in here if you're in here, but I went from selling a product that people have to buy once a year and it's never good news when I call, to now we get to sell them another 16 ounces every 15 to 20 minutes and they're happier every time they buy it. It's incredible. So it's a great industry to be in. I look forward to our Q&A. Thank you for having me here. Glad to share with you.